Women don't really feel that they can find their match in a man, and then they're reaching midlife and realizing that they're lonely. This is your space to grow, glow, grieve, and get real. Welcome to the mic. Welcome to the movement. Welcome to You Can't Handle the Truth. And I saw this subreddit post and I thought I have to come here because this was in my subreddit over 40, where our truth teller says, am I the only one who feels like life over 40 is just a long wait for nothing? And I thought, well, why did she say that? What's going on? Because I've done different posts about women who get to their 40s and they're either thinking about blowing up their life because they want to go find themselves and things like that. And I just actually recently posted a video about that. And I said, do you think you can make it work? Let's read this and let's see what she has to say. And we're going to talk about it because this woman's lonely. So I'm assuming she is not in a relationship, but we're going to find out together. All right. So while I'm doing that, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, comment, drop me a heart, show me some love because you're here with me and I am here showing you love. All right, let's jump in. I'm 42, no partner, never married, no kids. I didn't think she was. I live alone. I lost my job a while ago, and while I did enroll in a 6-month online course in digital marketing, which gives me some structure during the week, the weekends are brutal, quiet, empty, and increasingly unbearable. This has been my life for years now. I used to be okay with solitude, even prided myself in being independent, but lately I just feel like I'm slowly vanishing. The digital marketing course feels like a distraction rather than a purpose. I keep asking myself, what's the point of all this? Yeah, what is the point if you don't have anyone to share your life with? And I know people say they don't want kids, people can't have kids, but generally we need some type of connection. When I saw this, I was like, I have to bring this to you. And I think she's making the point that this gentleman makes. I forget his name. I'll have to find him. I'll link him in the description box. Anton, I think his name is. I don't agree with everything he says, but he makes a lot of sense when he starts talking about women and they're all lonely and they're blowing up their lives, but then they can't get into a relationship because they have these standards, right? Because women generally, I just heard this, that women generally are made to want a man who's up level from them. And when you overeducate yourself, where is there to go? I'm not saying don't educate yourself. That's not what I'm saying. But when you wait and wait and wait and wait, and you're not building a life together, a lot of times women find themselves in a situation where they are very lonely. And it's just kind of sad. This woman has all the education. She's still trying to educate herself. She's not even understanding why, other than the fact that she needs a job, probably. And she's thinking maybe this is something that she can do. But she lost her job. She's got to support herself. There's no support. It's something, I think his name is Anton. In one of his videos, I heard him say that there's no support when you lose your job. At least when you're together, you have a partner, you have somebody that will support you. You can support them. When you're on your own, you're on your own. And when we get older, ladies, it gets harder and harder and harder to find a man. Because when the men get older, right, men that are midlife and have never been married will generally look for somebody younger. They will marry someone younger. Why? If they've never had children, they want children. They waited for this. They did their time. They did their career. And now they want children. And there's other things involved in that also. Or they don't want to marry women who have children if they've never had children. Food for thought. All right. So let's go. I don't know where she's going with this, but I just thought I'd bring that up because this seems to be a theme now, honestly, that some women are really lonely. Like we spend our whole life waiting to build our careers, right? And I just saw another woman. She was crying. She was online. She made a whole video and she literally said she was afraid that if she didn't have, that she's not going to find a man because she doesn't want to have to tell the man that she can no longer have children, and that she understands that he may not want to marry her because he may want kids. She's basically taken herself out of that pool of men who don't have kids, because now facts for us women is that we have a biological clock that's ticking. And I know it sounds weird. I don't know if that's the right term. I don't know if it's politically correct, but it's correct. It's a fact. It's a truth that you only have so many years. And what's interesting is that every woman's different, and we don't know how many years we have. But we know those early years in our 20s, most likely that's when we're fertile, right? As you get older, you become less fertile. And depending on what medical situations you run into, like endometriosis and things like that, it then again takes away from your fertility as you get older. And so if you want children, we need to find connection at an earlier age. So, and I know, like with the feminist movement, we've made that not a priority. And I can't imagine. I mean, I had my children in my 20s, and so I'm really glad I did, to tell you the truth, because now I'm in a different phase of life. And that's for me. I'm not saying that that works for everyone. I'm not saying that a woman who's in her 40s or 50s cannot have children. Of course, I see it all the time online, but generally these are women that are married and have a husband, and sometimes it's on purpose, but usually it happens by accident. They have done all the IVF, they've done all the things, and then all of a sudden, poof, surprise, you know what, they're pregnant. It was unexpected. But you can drop me a comment and let me know. I don't know all the statistics. I'm just telling you, giving you a few examples from what I've seen online, and of course it's impossible to see everything, so I don't know everything. But you can always correct me and drop me some comments in the comment section. Okay. She continues to say, and here's where it gets real. I feel like a failure. No career right now, no family, no children. Oh my gosh. She goes on to say exactly what we're saying. No big love story to look back on. Just a collection of quiet days that look exactly the same. People say it's never too late, but honestly, isn't that just something we tell ourselves to cope? Honestly, what do you mean it's never too late? Like, we all know as women that we have a biological clock that is ticking, right? That we only have so many eggs in a lifetime. Those eggs, as we get older, those eggs become depleted. It gets harder and harder to conceive unless you don't want children. And, you know, still, if you don't want children and this is where you are, then where are you when you're looking at the men that are in your same, let's say you're looking at someone in your same age group, like let's say she's 40 and there's a 40-year-old man who doesn't have kids yet, and he's been working on his career, and now he wants to marry a woman who can have children. That's crazy, right? It's really crazy. Have we been fed a lie all along? I'm starting to wonder. I mean, I don't know. Okay, so she continues. I feel like society doesn't know what to do with women like me. If you're over 40 and don't have kids or a partner, you're either pitied, ignored, or expected to be some cool, independent aunt who travels and does yoga retreats. Newsflash, that's not fulfilling either. So you know what I'm beginning to wonder? If after all these years of women being told that they need to be so successful, that if biologically, anatomically, and emotionally, we were always meant to have families, to have children. And I know not everyone can have children, so I'm not saying that it's going to be for everyone. There are the outliers of medical reasons why people cannot have children. It seems like more and more women can't have children because they've waited too late. They've waited too long. And drop me a comment and you let me know what you think. I don't know. This is really hard. Makes me want to cry. Listen, just reading this makes me want to cry as a woman. So anyway, I'm going to keep going. Whew. I'm tired of pretending I'm okay with this kind of life when deep down I feel like I missed the boat. All the boats. And now I'm stuck watching others live normal lives while I try to convince myself that personal growth and online certificates are enough. Is anyone else out there feeling this way? Please don't just sugarcoat it. I need real talk from women my age. Are you dealing with the loneliness, the aging, the regrets, and the sense that it might just be too late to change anything? Listen, if you're a woman that's watching me, that's going through this, drop some comments, share your story. If you've been through this, if you have anything to say about this, drop a comment for the other women out there, because I know there has to be a lot. Because this is the day and age that we were raised in. We were raised to say we just want careers. We were raised to say that we can do everything a man can do. And then you get to 40 and you find out that you can't do everything a man can do. Because they can have kids for their whole lives. Probably till they're 90. And you can't. We cannot. That ship sails at midlife for most of us. And it gets harder once you get into your 40, right before you get to midlife. I'm going to read some comments. Please drop me yours. Please share for our ladies out there if you have any solutions, because like when you're here, you're here. That's where you're at. You can't turn back time. I'm hearing that song, If I Could Turn Back Time. Okay. Yeah. I'm not sure this is the real talk you're wanting, but I'm single and child-free, and I don't feel any of that. I'm exhausted and frustrated because of perimenopause kicking my butt and being unable to get proper help from the doctor. But my biggest challenge is feeling that my health and energy are holding me back from truly living my life. If this is new, then please do investigate to see if there are any mental health challenges you haven't addressed here. I don't want to be flippant where there could be a real issue here that you need help with. If not, well, make plans. If you don't enjoy an empty weekend, fill it. If you don't want to be single, date. If work is unfulfilling, look for new opportunities. If you don't have people around you who fill you up and make you feel loved and connected, make new friends. And also, screw normal lives. I'm the poly, artsy, fun aunt, and I absolutely love it. Normal would bore the crap out of me. I'm off now to dance all night. Yeah, I mean, some women, that's what they want to do. I'm not talking to those ladies. I'm talking to the ones out there who are getting to this point and they're feeling regret. And if you're reaching midlife, it might be time. Unfortunately, I know you're thinking, you know what, you missed the boat. Can you still have kids? But it may be time to consider hormone replacement therapy, unfortunately, in this situation. But just to help you, because just because you didn't have kids doesn't mean that your hormones aren't shifting. I'm gonna share this because even when I was 45, I already had my 2 children. But when I hit 45, there was like something kicked in mentally, and I was like, I want another child. It's like your body knows. That's what I'm saying. Like, is there something innate in us? And if somebody knows, if there's some study that's done on this, I didn't get a chance to research that before I read this because I'm just reading this now with you. But if there's some research on this, please let me know, because like I got to 45 and I was just like, I want another kid. Like, and it's like my body knew, like I was getting to that point where it was like the time was, I had reached that point. Like I was at the point of no return. Like, if you don't do this now, this is your last chance. It's like there's something that kicks into you and you realize like this is your last chance and you're moving on to this next stage of life. And I had 2 children. So I can't imagine if you didn't and now you're getting to this point and you thought you were going to wait and it's not happening and you're not even dating. Right? But you want a life. You're not just trying to go out there and get in vitro fertilization just so you can have a kid. You actually want a family. Okay. Someone else says, 44, child-free and single, meeting up with my 2 boyfriends and 4 nephews tomorrow to work together, getting my mom's old house for sale. I'm a fun, artsy aunt, like the person you replied to. It's truly the best. I don't know. Some people love it. Okay. Yeah, someone says, don't forget, depression and anxiety is also a symptom of perimenopause. So yeah, see your doctor, but I second this. Go and fill your weekends. No kids, no worries. Go do stuff you live, enjoy. But it sounds like she says she's done all of that. So I'm not sure. Depression and anxiety are also a very normal reaction to real world around us. I think we often get told that it's all in our head, and I'm sure that for some people that's true because objectively their lives are good otherwise. But a lot of people are depressed and anxious because their life sucks and their world sucks, and no medicine or therapy is going to change that. Wow, some people are really depressed in here. Whew. Someone else says, I'm going through menopause and can say that my emotions were crazy before HRT. Between hot flashes and mood swings, I felt I was going crazy. Yeah, so I think that if you, I'm not downplaying what she's saying either, because I think it's a thing. I've been seeing this a lot online. I've been seeing a lot of women just kind of like freaking out that they're not, now they're at this point, they had this career, they're lonely or they're losing their job, they don't have anybody to support them, they're on their own, they don't have any kids, they don't have any family, they don't live near family, they wanted to be solely independent, and then they're realizing it's not all that it was sold to them that it was going to be. And yeah, it just made me really think, as a woman who had 2 children already and had a family and was hitting this point, that midlife point in my life, and where the hormones were shifting and I didn't know what was happening, I was freaking out that I was not going to be able to have any more kids, that I just have to have one because if I don't have one now, I'm not going to be able to have one. At this point, I'm glad I didn't, because I already have my 2, and now I would have a 10-year-old, right? But never having kids, yeah, this was something from when I was a child I dreamed of. But I'm not downplaying the fact that your hormones are kicking in right now, so you should also talk to the doctor. If you're finding yourself depressed, you should talk to the doctor about that. I wholly advocate for hormone replacement therapy. But you do realize once you start hormone replacement therapy, you know what that means. The time has sailed. The time is passing for you to have children. And it doesn't mean you can't have a family. It's just, I actually felt this woman. I don't know. I don't see anyone here who resonated with her. Everyone's just talking about HRTs, right? But I'm sure these are all women that have had children already. Some of them don't have children and they're just happy with their life. They really made a choice at the beginning that they did not want children. They wanted to live the single life. Some of them don't say whether or not they have families, but they have boyfriends, right? But I think as you get older and older, it gets harder because you're going to be alone. Is the boyfriend going to stick around? I don't know. Or is he going to move on when he wants kids? When he decides he wants kids? And I see that's why the stories that I'm seeing online, that's what I'm seeing, that, yeah, they will come and play for a little bit. They'll entertain, they'll go out, they'll do all the things. But they will not marry you because they want a family. They want children. Oh, boy. Let's see. Someone says, one of your lovers, oh girl, I aspire to be you. If only I could find one guy worthy enough to let alone more than one at a time. But that's the thing. More than one at a time, these guys are not staying with you. They're just flings. This woman is talking about she wants a family, connection, true connection. The thing that she seems to see other people have, like that she feels like she missed out on. Someone else says, it sounds like you're in a difficult situation and understandably you're struggling. It's hard to be in your 40s in general. Life feels like it's half over and we're supposed to have accomplished something by now. I'm glad you found something to do, even if it's just a distraction, because maybe it could turn into a passion. Do you have friends, hobbies? I'm struggling too. I'm bored with my life. I have a husband and a decent job, but we live in a really expensive area, so we don't get to do much. I spend most of my time just sleeping or on Reddit. It's hard. I posted something a few days ago and everyone encouraged me to get a hobby and try to meet people, but it's hard, especially when you're low-key depressed, which I didn't realize until I started reading all the responses. If you want to meet someone, don't give up. My aunt didn't find her person until she was in her 50s, and she's very happy now. Exactly. Don't give up. Don't give up. But I feel her. I feel her. Our truth teller goes on to say, thank you for encouraging me. I try to be positive, but it's wearing down on me. The older I get and getting more invisible in society. I like to travel, but obviously I can't do it all the time. I like photography and reading. Started reading again just recently after a long absence. I enjoy it, but it's all something I do on my own. No company. And I'm just tired of being in my own company all the time. I had friends, but lost them over the years. Everyone is preoccupied with their partners and kids, and I got tired of being used as none ever gave the feeling of appreciation to me. I just think that they've got us so messed up, ladies. They've got us so messed up in what they tell us, like that we should want to do, right? We shouldn't want a man, and then we realize we don't want to be alone, or we shouldn't want a partner, or, partner man, whatever, and because we can be independent, right? Why can't we be in a partnership and still have some independence? You can. Do you have to make concessions in a partnership? You do. Is that terrible? It's not. It just is. We make concessions for everything. We make concessions when we take a job. You don't take a job and don't make concessions to have that job that you have, to have that career that you have. Why were we sold that we didn't have to make concessions in a relationship? Can somebody explain that to me? I'm really trying to understand this because I don't think it was until my 30s or so, like mid 30s, that's when I started to realize what I wanted, what I didn't want, and the work that I needed to do on myself to have the things that I want, to understand what it's like, what it is to really have and be in a relationship. And it's not all the things they told us. It's just not. It's really not. Let me tell you this. Had I listened to all the things that society was saying about what I needed to do when I was younger, I wouldn't have my children now. I don't know if I would have any children. I would have probably 0 children, because by the time I was 35, well, maybe I was 40, 30, 35, 38. By the time I was 30, 38 or 40, by the time I turned 40, there were hardly no eggs left. I know I'm sharing, maybe TMI, but I had hardly no eggs left. So imagine had I waited and done things however it was that I was supposed to do them, or how everyone was telling me, I may not have had any children. And I always wanted children. So this woman, I feel her. So if you're that woman out there that is in the same situation as this woman, I feel you. I didn't want to be the fun auntie. No. I was not interested in doing that. I wanted to be a mom, always. Ever since I can remember. But yeah, we grow up and then they're like, oh, you got to go to school. You got to go get this degree. You got to go get a PhD. By the time you're done with your PhD, you're already well into your 30s. Right? Then you got to go find a man. And then you have to find a man. And then you have all these expectations. Right? And then nobody can meet your expectations at that point. Right? Nobody's meeting your expectations at that point. And the men that are your age are looking for younger women who can have kids. Like it's crazy making. It's crazy making. So I'm not saying that that's all I ever wanted to do was have kids. I did want a career. I do have a career. But if that had been my sole focus when I was younger, in my 20s, like I was told, I probably wouldn't have children right now. And so I feel this woman. Anyway, thank you for joining me today. This one made me really sad. This one made me, I felt her. And so if you're that girl, that woman, that girl, and I'm going to say that girl because I feel like that feeling made me feel like that little girl in her. So I'm going to say that girl, I feel you. And drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Share your thoughts. Show support for those out there. There's always some hope, I think. I don't ever give up on hope. But, therapy. I always recommend therapy because I advocate for mental health. But sometimes there's a it's like there's a rude reality check that occurs. And it's like, damn, did, like this woman said, did I miss the boat? I don't know if she missed the boat. I'm not her doctor. She needs to go for a checkup. She needs to go find out. And then now there's like this race, right, to find somebody, which is that how you it's really hard. I don't even know what to say. Anyway, if you know what to say, drop me a comment. Love you guys. Thank you for joining me, and you can't handle the truth. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. Drop me a heart, and I will see you in the next one. Stay safe out there.